looking at developments in South Africa with the establishment of a new party by the former president, who has found himself on different sides and in recent times has said that the ANC is failing South Africans, and he is working with others to establish a new political party, which he hopes will take on the ANC in the coming elections. Now, we'll stay in South Africa and in KwaZulu-Natal, which has been turned into a political killing field. And according to South African Local Governments Association, over 100 councillors have been murdered in KwaZulu-Natal over the past 2 years. The Local Governments Association says intimidation and access to power are the primary reasons behind relentless political killings in the province. Increasing criminal activity and the proliferation of small arms are also among the main drivers of this violence. Another guest lined up for us right now on News Central Now is Dr. Webster Zambara, Senior Project Leader of Peace Building Initiatives at the Institute for Justice and Reconciliation. Welcome to News Central Now. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Zambara.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year. Thanks for having me too.
So let's look at this situation, particularly as South Africa is gearing up for national elections. The surge of political killings in KwaZulu-Natal is a very complex issue. So can you take us through some of the factors that seem to be contributing to the problem?
Well, with South Africa heading for elections in 2024, possibly in May, and also celebrating 30 years since the end of apartheid, these 3 decades have had a history of violence, particularly in the KZN. KZN is a political theater of violence since the unbanning of political parties in 1990. Actually, between 1990 and 1994 first democratic elections, more than 20,000 people were killed in KZN, mainly between the ANC and the Inkatha Freedom Party. And some of the reasons were that the apartheid regime funded and actually gave weapons to Inkatha Freedom Party and wanted to cause commotion such that the region has remained so volatile. Since then, political killings have continued to haunt KwaZulu-Natal province. And if you would look at the number of elected councillors that are killed, they number up to over 100 in the past 15 years or so. What this tells is that political killings have become part and parcel of the body politic in the province, and particularly on elected councillors. And it speaks of some of the internal squabbles within political parties, such that you'll find political killings happen within the ANC itself, as well as political killings happening between the ANC and other political parties. And we also witnessed a trend when the IFPs splitted and the National Freedom Party was formed. We also witnessed the violence between IFP and NFP. Now that we have got a new political party, the Umkhonto weSizwe, in which former President Jacob Zuma is playing a key role, we wonder whether another political front is also going to increase the number of killings. But beyond that, the killings themselves are also linked to other forms of violence that are happening in the province, including some of the reasons being economic.
Yes, I want to get to that point, because is there also a connection that goes beyond political? So how do perceptions and allegations of corruption, nepotism, and even patronage systems within the political system exacerbate the violence? Then I also want us to look at the extent to which some of these killings could also be looked to the criminal activities that unfortunately are rampant right now in South Africa, such as organized crime, drug trafficking, or even extortion.
That's true. 5 years ago, a commission of inquiry was instituted to look into the political killings in KZN. And one of the reasons that was given is that of corruption, in which those that follow South African politics, they know of the term tenderpreneurship. Those that are in the sitting positions, they use their positions to give tenders to their friends and to give tenders to their relatives. So occupying such a position becomes critical. And if you remove a person from such a position, you can put your own person who would then award you tenders. So corruption is one of the reasons that has been cited as causing political killings. Also nepotism, yes, you can't deny that. And those that are fighting against corruption have also been targeted. For example, the case of a young ANC activist, Sindiso Magaka. He was quite active in challenging how money had been looted in his district, and he was murdered. So that comes in, and on top of that, we also have a country that is generally violent. I can give you the statistics. Between 2022 and 2023, more than 27,000 people were murdered in South Africa. And that is a big number.
Yes.
So we are looking at this politically, but we are also looking at the general environment in which political killings and hits, especially in the taxi industry and other sectors, are quite common. So when we look at KZN particularly, and South Africa generally, and political killings, they should be viewed in the sense that historically violence has been prominent, and it's always there. And also in the present, the statistics actually show that South Africa is a very, very violent country.
Okay, Dr.
Given that.
Dr. Webster, Zambara, I apologize for interrupting you. Unfortunately, because of time, we'll have to end the conversation there. But I do know we're going to be expecting you on one of our shows to definitely expand on this conversation around the issue of violence in South Africa, and then even delving deeper into political violence as it is in Africa's most industrialized economy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.